Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Borough of Allendale Mayor and Council meeting. Good evening, everybody that's here and as well as home. It is July 20th, 2023 at 7:30. Linda, will you please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the July 10, 2023 Sunshine Notice was sent to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website. Councilwoman Homan.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Yacarino.
Here.
Councilman Delavatio. Absent. Mayor Wilzinski.
Here. Everybody, please stand to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we have our approval of minutes. We have the June 15th, 2023 work and regular session minutes and the June 26th special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Councilwoman Homan.
So, yes to the regular meeting, and I abstain from the special meeting.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes to the regular meeting and abstain on the 26th.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilman Yacarino.
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio is absent.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have public comment on agenda items only. Anybody from the public wish to speak on agenda items only? Not seeing anybody. We have next a business item for consideration, which is our town menorah lighting. They're getting way ahead of themselves, the planning ahead, and it's set for December 12th at 6 p.m. Any questions? All righty. Next, we have agenda review. It's a light agenda today. We do have our consent agenda, and I'd like to just point out some of the worthy work that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. First, we're applying for a DOT grant to refurbish the sidewalks around Memorial Park. The DOT grants are also the grants that we use for all of the downtown streetscape. Resolution 23-182, we're authorizing to go for an ADA bathroom for our firehouse. And 23-183 is a resolution supporting Bergen County Fire Mutual Aid Plan in the borough with neighboring towns. And then we have resolution 23-184. We have a new administrative assistant for our police department, Peggy Timoney. And resolution 23-185 is the resolution authorizing the undertaking of the corrective actions for the diversion for the water. And Council President Homan, would you like to speak to that?
I would like to. So, as everybody knows, and I believe the public knows also, that we sold the Allendale water system to Veolia. And a part of what is not complete with that transaction is we have some easements that are outstanding, as well as this item with Green Acres. We have used Green Acres in Allendale, and so any property that is Green Acres has restrictions on what can occur within that. And some of the water pipes were put in at the Brookside Fields, where the grandstand is, and going through Crestwood Lake. So it is certainly not changed the utilization of either of those locations, but as we transition, we give an easement to Veolia of our own. We can't do that without fixing that we need to follow some procedures with Green Acres. So what that will entail, we believe at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, from a legal standpoint, is that we will actually be looking for some additional space in Allendale to designate as Green Acres open space. And personally, while I hate that potentially we didn't know that these pipes have been put in, so it's not the best follow of direction many years ago, it's great because we will be preserving some additional open space in Allendale. So as a council, we will be looking at what space makes the most sense, where perhaps are there some wetlands that haven't, or wet areas that haven't been adequately protected. So it's one of those things where legally we need to go through these steps. And for Allendale, it's another opportunity for some space to be preserved. And it goes just as to explain again to everybody that, you know, Veolia still has $3.5 million of the $18 million sale. And the process by which we have to undertake giving all these easements is very time consuming and very detailed. This is just one small component. We also have, because the water system was put in so long ago, there are just easements that don't exist, papers that must have somehow been, you know, misfiled. We've had to have all sorts of surveying going on. So there are so many moving parts. And for myself, it's an opportunity to say that the team that Allendale has from a water committee and from our legal and our engineering and Ron and the Veolia side, and it's a lot of parts. And I am just so pleased that we're trucking along, and every week there's some progress that's being made. So thank you, Ray, for continuing that. And really Ryan Skirbo, who's been a legal consultant, has been excellent. Yes.
And I just want to also comment on it. The numerous residents, we had to go on residents' properties, and the residents have been outstanding. I was really worried about, you know, in the back of the people's properties and stuff. Not one resident did we really, with Nate Engineer was the one doing the surveying. They gave nice letters and like checked the residents have been. I've been one resident give me a good time.
I mean, I'm so, like I said, I
They
feel,
were very good. Every resident's been very cooperative. They asked what we're doing, and we tell them. Not one person. So it was nice that no one's giving us a hard time
good.
about it.
I'm pleased to hear
Yeah,
that,
it's
and I
been really
feel
good.
like, yeah, I mean, change is never easy, but it's
They-
something that is,
Good
and when I
question.
give my report, I don't want to digress from talking about this resolution, but when I give my report, I mean, we are fortunate to have had Veolia make steps in leaps and bounds. So, but for this resolution, just so this is not binding of anything, any specific piece of property, but it's a resolution that is required by Green Acres so that everybody in the community understands that we need to have this diversion cleaned up, as well as that the Borough Council, and I know we're all on the same page with making sure we have this done, but this is the official check.
And thank you for all the work you have done with
My
this
pleasure.
whole entire process.
A labor of
It's been a
love.
journey. It's been a journey. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Homan.
Do I have a second?
Second, Lovasolo.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Abstain on 186, yes on the rest.
Okay, next we have our council reports. Councilman O'Connell. You have
Thank
your
you,
report,
Mayor.
please?
The summer sports are winding down and the preparations for the fields for the fall sports are starting. Rich has been doing a great job maintaining the water quality at Crestwood Lake. The planning of phase 5 and 6 on the downtown streetscape are underway. And they'll be patching some potholes on several blocks scheduled for the next couple weeks. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Lovasolo.
The Finance, HR, and Admin Committee will be meeting tomorrow. So I'll have more to report at our next meeting. But I just wanted to give a little quick library update on some new positions and promotions at the library. So the Library Board of Trustees has named Nancy Klaus to the position of Library Director, effective July 3rd. Nancy was awarded a graduate degree in Library and Information Science from Syracuse University in 2021. Prior to serving in her current position at Lee Memorial Library, she worked in the marketing, analytics, and marketing research fields, developing skills in team leadership, project management, and customer service. Circulation Associate Melissa Brandis received a master's degree in library and information science from the University of Southern Mississippi this spring. She's being elevated to the role of community programming and outreach librarian beginning July 3rd. In her prior professional career, Melissa obtained a PhD from Garrett Evangelical Seminary and worked as an adjunct professor at New Brunswick Theological Seminary. With these promotions, Allendale now has 4 certified professional librarians and 5 paraprofessionals for a total of 9 staff members providing 60 public service hours over 6 days a week year round.
Wow, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman Homan, Council President Homan.
Ooh, all right. So I'll try to be succinct. Water. First of all, I feel like I just want to stand up and do an enormous cheer that on Tuesday, I happened to be fortunate enough to be down at the New Street treatment plant when the temporary treatment for PFAS began.
Woohoo!
It's really, I thank the residents of Allendale for going through the process with this council and voting to sell the system, because the money part is not what drove this at all. That's a fortunate thing. It really is the fact that we as Allendale would not have been able to, from an engineering standpoint and even a supply standpoint, get those vessels up and running. I mean, if you see on Facebook, there's a picture posted. I mean, there are 4 huge carbon filled vessels that now at this point are temporary treatment only for the 3 wells that are down at West Crescent. So, up at New Street. Please correct that. Make sure on the notes it's New Street. So that's super exciting. And I feel very grateful that Veolia actually had risk ordered those vessels prior to the sale actually going through, so that we would be able to have components, because the number of municipalities that are dealing with PFAS contamination are many. And so to be able to have this go on is excellent. And they are continuing to press forward with the West Crescent well, which is the well that actually did go into violation at a 14 parts per trillion. And the maximum number is 14. And so those permits are in. They have awarded the actual work already. So again, the commitment to bring Allendale into compliance, and really do what we've been striving to do for all of our residents. I mean, we all live here. So that's great. So if anybody has any questions on water, don't ever hesitate to ask, because certainly that's what we're here for. But that's kind of the newest information. And I'll move on to sewer. We did have a meeting today to discuss standard operating procedures, really for the way that we handle the billing from Northwest Bergen Utility Authority, since it's our largest budget item at this point, how we handle it coming in, how we will check and ensure that all of our numbers are correct. And then also, since we are conduit with sewage for parts of Saddle River as well as parts of Ramsey, we're working on a new contract with each of those towns, and just ensuring that everything is really buttoned up. So again, it was a great, Allison has been such a wonderful addition as a CFO from a financial side. Ron and Van Cleef have been awesome, and Ray is waiting to hear from me, and I have a long email already together. So I, our goal, and Ron and I had said, let's try to have everything wrapped up for Labor Day, and that's where we are. So,
Excellent.
yay!
Thank you for your report.
My pleasure.
Councilman O'Toole.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee has had a busy few weeks since our last meeting. We had the 4th of July in Allendale, which is always a heavy lift, but thanks to the police department and their coordination of Allendale's Fire Department, Ambulance Corps, and CERT, as well as many surrounding agencies, it was once again a tremendous success. If Councilman Delawisio were here, he would probably echo that and breathe a sigh of relief that his final big event as president of the Holiday Observers is finished.
Kudos to him.
Indeed. Just last week, class number 5 of Allendale's Junior Police Academy graduated. Judging by the video that Officer Azevedo posted, it was another incredible experience for the kids. Motorcycle wheelies, helicopters, canine officers, trip to the September 11th Museum at Ground Zero. It's no wonder that the 60 recruit limit was reached 8 minutes after registration opened.
Wow.
So special thanks to the Allendale School District for allowing the use of their facility, as well as the Allendale police officers who instructed the recruits. The police department welcomed the AFI Chief for a Day winner, first grader from Hillside School. The chief and Chief for a Day ate lunch together toward the police station, the firehouse, and visited the Junior Police Academy. We've moved forward with our promotional process to replace the sergeants whom we've lost to retirement. Eligible candidates sat for a test last month, and more recently 2 interviews, first with the command arm of the police department and then just a few days ago with the Public Safety Committee. No matter how it all shakes out, the residents of Allendale are fortunate to have such fantastic candidates for these positions. Finally, on a personal note, I would like to take a moment to recognize and thank the members of the Allendale Police Department who quite literally saved my father's life 3 weeks ago when he experienced a medical emergency. It's the type of situation where minutes make all the difference, and their quick response and transport to the hospital for emergency surgery saved him. So on scene within minutes were officers Jamie Hillgardner, Alex Helmer, Christian Moore, and Justin Hugridge. Fielding the calls on the desk was Christian Henderson, and coordinating everything from the New Jersey State Chiefs Convention in Atlantic City, Chief Mike Dillon. So on behalf of my entire family and from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. That's all I've got.
Councilman Yakarino.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a challenging summer in some respects, but we did have a full slate of lots of fun activities at the lake, but it seems to have rained every weekend.
How's the news?
Since the start of the summer, so it's been challenging. We're 0 for 4 so far on our events, but I am happy looking ahead to this Saturday. We do have Allendale's favorite midlife crisis band, which I understand special guest appearance this year. So we are going to have a really nice Saturday looking ahead, and then even more so with the storms and everything. I know we had some branches down at the Red Barn area last week. Save a Tree, I know, was on site. They took care of that earlier this week. So, you know, luckily, looking at some of the surrounding areas, we really lucked out with a lot of the storms, especially at Crestwood and so forth. Just knocking on wood there. Other than that, we're looking at buttoning up a couple of our outstanding capital projects for this year. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start awarding some projects and tuning up some of those items. So that'll all start taking place in the next few weeks. And other than that, I think we're, again, looking forward to rounding out the summer with some sunshine and hopefully having some events. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Tyler. And we'll go to our clerk, Linda.
I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Director of Operations, Ron Kitzer.
I'm good, thank you.
Chief Mike Dillon.
I'd just like to say thank you for everyone's support. It's been an interesting couple months, and we're making huge progress, leaps and bounds with the police department.
Our attorney, Ray Witt.
Yeah, I think I can defer to most of the things that we've been involved in have been referred to in the council committee reports, so I can defer.
All right. I will do my mayor's report real quickly. Our Director of Operations set up the Northwest Bergen County Administrators Barbecue, and we had the honor of having County Executive Tedesco come and speak about all shared services that we could participate in with the county. So we want to thank him and Ron for setting all that up, as well as all the other mayors and administrators that showed up. I think it was the best turnout we've ever had. And Mr. Kistner was working the grill again. So maybe they came for the burgers, maybe they came for the great conversation. I don't know, but it was a wonderful event. Again, 4th of July, I have to say, thanks to the Holiday Observers and our very own Joe Delawisio, who's not here, who is the outgoing Holiday Observer president. Always an amazing event, not only the fireworks, but also the events for the kids on the field the whole entire day. Our OEM, AVAC, CERT, Allendale Fire Department, of course, the police and our DPW all come together to make this event special also for the town. I did actually attend the Junior Police Academy graduation, and oh my gosh, it was really special. I will be posting the video on my Facebook page, so if anybody wants to see it, it is something to see. Last night I attended a Rotary event, the Allendale Saddle River Rotary, paired up with another amazing agency, our Fell House, our very own Fell House. So two great causes, the Rotary and the Fell House. So it's really nice to see our town organizations come together in a group effort. I think there was probably like 40-ish people there. So it was a really great event for the Rotary, who does so many special things, as well as for the Fell House to bring attention to that amazing historic building in our town. 220 is almost built. So everybody has seen it, I'm sure. It is right on West Crescent Avenue. I know it looks very large. However, our community center is going to go right in front of it. And the community center is going to be beautiful, and it's going to be an amazing space for our residents. Currently, we have no other space for the residents. If we did not purchase that property and we did not sell it to the developer that we did in the combination that we did with the back building remaining as a warehouse and the front building being residential units, it would have been over 300 units there. We bought it from a Brooklyn developer who is known to build many condos. So high density building was definitely slated to go there. So we are very happy that we did purchase that building, and we were very happy the way that it is going to turn out. So if everybody could just be patient and wait until our beautiful community center, which is going to be stuck right to the front, comes out, it's going to be amazing for the community. So I just wanted to, I know everybody is posting a lot of things on Facebook, so I just wanted to clear the air and let everybody know it is going to be a spectacular space for the community once it is finally built.
And people need to remember just that we do have to abide by fair share housing mandates. And so having nothing there was not an option.
No, exactly.
And
If we all had our way, it would be a beautiful park, but that's not.
With many, many trees.
It is absolutely not the case. And quite frankly, I've been working on this project since 2018, and it's been a bumpy road, and it almost went south a couple times. So we're just very happy that we did get to partner with Hampshire, because they are a very reputable and good developer that we can trust. So we are very pleased at the way it's coming. I wish our community center could have been a little quicker. However, we are going to bid. So thank you, Linda, for all the work that you did this week, working with those bid specs. We just sent notification to the paper today. It should be going, we didn't.
No.
Not today. Well, in the next couple days. Next
The
Wednesday?
26th, it's going to be
Oh, the
sent to the
26th.
paper to be published July 31st.
Okay, so it will be going in the paper the 26th. And that is just, it was a very big feat for you to get all of that information. I think the document is 100 and something pages. So thank you very much for pulling that together, because we know you're going on vacation tomorrow. So I really, really appreciate it. And everybody else on the 220 team who have come together and really made these specs buttoned up. So we're going to hopefully get some really good bids in. And wanted to say thank you again to Council President Liz Homan for all the work that she did. It was amazing that we had the temporary treatment going in, and that well is turned on. So without your forward thinking and your leadership, we would be in quite a bind right now. So we are very, very lucky to have you at the helm of this project, and great day for Allendale on that one online. So thank you for that. And with that, I am done with my report. And we are going into any unfinished business. Any unfinished business? Any new business? Okay, next we have public comments on any matter. So anybody from the public wishing to speak on any matter, please come up, state your name and address, please, for the record.
For the record, Joe Bond.
Yeah.
19 Beersford Road.
Thank you.
I believe I did communicate to a number of you the issue I'm about to discuss. First of all, I want to say I'm surprised and actually very disappointed to have to be here this evening. Okay. There's a problem of consistent faulty bills, water bills, in my case, going back 2 years. So that's 8 quarters, and so forth. Personally, it's not a monetary issue. It's more of a principle issue. How an organization can consistently send out faulty estimated bills. When you query, which was I have done, Loyola, they can't tell me what the algorithm they're using to come up with the estimates. It's based on the preceding estimates. Well, in my case, it was 2 months or 2 years of estimates. Okay. And the end of March, early April, I called them to inquire. Asked them what I just explained to you. No answer. I asked them why someone had not come out to check the meter. No answer. I asked to speak to a supervisor at that point. Supervisor wasn't available. We'll call you in 72 hours. No answer. Called back about 5 days later. Had another conversation with someone, and basically at that point, I was told the correct vernacular was to ask for a meter reading. Early on, I said I was told that there weren't meters available. Okay. So person came out the following day, which is a Wednesday, which is important. We'll get to in a moment, and put a new meter in. The service people were extremely good, helpful, professional. Was assured at that juncture that everything was taken care of. The reason this all started was because in my, I guess it would have been the preceding bill, the number was about $100 higher than normally. Now this is the middle of winter as opposed to the summer, so something's a little bit goofy here. Okay.
Which bill are we talking about?
Okay. Right here. That bill was the bill charges due for 24-23 for $176. Normally it's about 80.
I'm sorry, what 24, 23, what does that mean?
April 24.
Oh,
April 24.
Mhm.
23. Okay.
Okay, yep. And how
And
many?
if you look at that bill, and unfortunately, I've been here for 20 years to look at the bill came from Allendale, and the bill was vacillating a little bit. So I didn't really focus on. But on this particular one, it's up precipitously. So I said, what the hell is going on here? Then I look and estimate, go back, estimate. So that's sort of the genesis of this. Secondly, then not getting any sort of responsible answer started to get me angry. So continuing on. So at which point the guy came, put a new meter in, showed me how to work it. And I said, what do I do? Pay it or not? He says, pay it, it'll true itself up. I said, fine. But next month, it'll be actual. Next month or next quarterly bill came in, estimate again. So at which point, had to do the whole damn thing again, call her over, guys, brought another person out. But, and this is the point I was trying to make, they only have people in Allendale 1 day a week. Okay. So basically it was pushed off a week. At that point, and with the earlier, I was told that the estimated bills in Allendale are pervasive. Okay. It's not a small number. It's a large number. And I know personally, one of my neighbors is in the same boat as I am, except his bill is 3x of what my bill was coming in at. Okay. So my other next door neighbor, working fine. So at which point I'm here to question, number one, how many homes, I guess there's 2,400 homes in Allendale or approximately, whatever the number is, what percentage of them are getting estimated bills? You should know that because.
I know how many.
Okay, and?
So there are approximately 586 estimating meters. And while I say that, I do feel, and I understand, and that's why I said to you, I appreciate people ensuring that we are always progressing in a positive direction. because that is what we're striving to do in all the things that we do here. With the water meters, there has been a backorder challenge for the types of meters that Allendale had. And our meters prior to COVID we were starting to experience, okay, what do we do? We're going to change out all the meters, which is a very expensive endeavor to change out all the meters. And so we were kind of buying little dribs and drabs, and then COVID was hitting, everything went on back order. There were no meters to be had. And once we got Veolia, once we got the sale pass, they are putting in what are called AMI meters. So there will actually be meters that you will be able to have an app on your phone to be able to track what your meter is
I was
reading.
told that, and I've had two different interpretations from Loyola on the same subject, but I understand at one point the new meters are coming in, 2,400 meters and so forth. That's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time because they're only allocating one person a week to do meter replacement at this point.
Well, the meters, when they do the AMI replacement, it's going to be a whole project that's going to be going on. It probably will not happen, and it's not required to happen until by the end of 2024, because again, production is challenging. And so that's why I say there is your quarter that ended in April 24th. I believe if you look and see, you actually got a short bill for the fourth quarter. You weren't billed December, which you normally would be.
I got all the bills here.
So,
if you've obviously talked to them, so basically, I received the bill on the April the 24th. Okay, it's due for 176. Then the meter was fixed. I got another bill which was for $121. But again, that was after the meter was fixed. It's now an estimate again. Okay. Then yesterday, in preparation for today, evidently, they sent a revised bill, which is even lower, and it appears that it is an actual bill finally. Okay.
Right.
But that's not the issue here.
But
the issue is you have 500 meters. This didn't open up overnight. This goes back to, and you can't blame it on Viola because Suez was doing the billing for Allendale for a long time.
But Allendale owned, Allendale owned the systems, owned the meters. We were trying to get replacement meters and we're having trouble more than 2 years ago. Ron, I can't remember I'm going to say going back 3.5 years ago. So to outlay money to buy meters, we didn't keep in stock hundreds of meters. We probably I remember having containers of them. And so once the meters went on back order, then every meter that's going out, and these meters are at the end of their lifetime, there is no replacement. So they do go on estimate, and the way the estimates work is on the most recent. So it goes from the year prior. And so if you have 2 years, yes, you're getting an estimate based upon an estimate.
I understand
and
that,
once
but then how do you get the vacillations that I received over the last 2 years? If you're saying, and this is the permutations of how they're coming up with this calculation doesn't make any sense, because I'm looking at bills here that vacillate from $82 to $108, so forth and so on. Okay. Now, if you're talking about a problem that you're sending out faulty bills that are based upon estimates that you really can't define, then why would you turn around and not just put a base number out until you get the thing straightened out?
Because the base number is based upon the numbers that are in the system already. And once there is a actual meter in, then, and there does have to be some discussions. We have had meters historically that unfortunately, for one reason or another, some people didn't report that they had estimated. So I didn't check all their estimated things, that we had to go back 5 years and sit down with people and say, well, wait a minute. And they, so it's not a perfect system, Mr. Bond. And I am not in any way saying that it's great. It's not, but it's something that we are trying.
We're
with
working
Veolia,
towards, yeah.
and they
Okay,
understand
but see,
it's a problem.
That's the Allendale problem. Okay. I look at this also from the business perspective, and basically you're looking at, quite frankly, Veolia, whatever the hell they want, or Suez. Okay. They're putting out faulty bills. in the revenue line. Okay, no, it's not material.
They're putting out estimated
They're
bills.
estimated bills that are based upon, and they can't defend it because when I get on the phone with them, they can't defend it, nor can you, it appears. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to correct you. All right, if you can, I will be glad and to listen to this, but it's not happening. Secondly, you got the SEC, but most importantly, you got the Bureau of Public Utilities. Okay, and I'm not proposing I'm going to do any of this, but this is the problem that you have when you have. It looks what you said, 24. So that's basically 1/6 of the town is getting estimated bills. All right, for a long time.
I mean, everybody's different. I don't have the dates.
Okay,
that
well, the guy
everyone
told
has.
the most egregious story I heard was that there was a fellow who was in Allendale for 25 years, didn't pay a water bill, and laughed about it when he just sold his house. Okay, and this was from that.
Well, that's
okay?
then
I know.
that's
I mean,
fair.
but
I guess
the
all
far
I
end of the
can
extreme.
assure you is that they should have the AMI system in by the end of 2024. And certainly I will continue, and I have been continuing to communicate with Veolia that on these bills where people feel challenged, and some people probably are like, yay, I'm not paying as much because now I have 4 people in my house and it's estimating based on when I had 2 people in my house.
No, it's
not
actually just the reverse with me. Okay,
and
I had
it might
4
be,
people,
yes.
and I'm down to 2 people. And the thing keeps on going up, which is an insult, okay? It's not the monetary. I said in the very beginning, it's not the monetary. It's the insult of a problem that has persisted, in my instance, for 2 years. I know one of my neighbors, it's a longer time, okay? And from my perspective, it doesn't seem like anything's being done. And if you put the monkey back on Veolia, okay, they're allocating 1 service truck to fix meters once a week. If you have 400 houses missing broken meters, why would you not have more people doing this? Or is it just turn around and
We don't have enough meters. We don't have enough physical meters to be putting in to replace. Veolia doesn't have enough physical meters to be putting in to each of those homes.
then why not turn around and accelerate this new program to put the new meters in as opposed to not?
Yes,
Okay.
and so
I
they
made
are.
my point here.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes.
made my point. I don't really, it's just insulting when I get on the phone with them and they can't explain the bill, okay? And this thing, and part of it's my fault. I'll be honest with you. I didn't look at the bill for 2 years. I looked at the bill finally, and I looked at it. I pay it. It's up, it's down, it's okay. And then I'm looking at it, and then I see the new. No, I have some of the old Allendale bills. My wife saves everything, and that bill was pretty straightforward. This one, you have to hunt this. Oh, it's an estimate. It's not an estimate. I mean, or it's.
Yeah. So I can't. I mean, I want to. I guess I want to say, thank you for continuing to have a dialogue about this. It's not an easy scenario, and I understand that it's not the money. It is the point. But what I do want to assure you is it's not like, oh, nobody cares that this is happening.
Well,
They're
I mean,
aware.
Are there 400 people
so-
in town that are asleep? Because I know my one neighbor isn't, because his bill is.
No,
3x
and we
more.
are not asleep either, and neither is Veolia. So there is communication on this. We can't make meters appear. We also can't, even the AMI meters are also in an order cycle process to be able to have all of those for 2,400 installations to occur. From the customer service standpoint of individuals appropriately responding to your questions, we are working with
It's not
Veolia to
different.
have.
They're looking at a screen,
Of
okay?
course they are,
there's-
but
there-
that's what,
There's no,
that's
they're
what
not, they
we're
don't have
trying
a
to
crib
work
sheet or
All
anything
right, I'm
like
sorry.
that.
I will continue to keep on it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Walter's in charge. Please
Mark?
state your name for the record.
Mark Savastano, 22 Reland Place. Mayor and Council, I want to thank you all for placing your trust in the Green Team and providing the opportunity for our members to demonstrate a commitment to a more sustainable Allendale. Councilwoman Movasola, we're grateful for your continued commitment to our efforts, as well as your participation and encouragement. And I'd also like to mention Councilman Emeritus Jim Stroutz's continued active membership. Despite the inclement weather, the second annual spring cleanup was very successful. It was teamwork that enabled the Green Team to seamlessly inherit this event from the borough and continue to provide this service to our residents on a volunteer basis, which reduces borough expenses while continuing to benefit the community and the environment. I also want to thank John Gill, the CERT members, and several citizen volunteers who selflessly contributed their time, specifically Carol Riker, UB Jung, and her two sons who participated.
They were awesome.
Yes, they were. In fact, UB is very excited about the possibility of receiving something on paper about his participation, so
Oh,
that he can
okay.
submit it to the school. And
Sure.
I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. Statistics from the event were 4,200 pounds of paper, 7,800 pounds of electronics, 2,000 pounds of clothing, 10 pounds of syringes, which are collected by the police department in a partnership with Valley Hospital, which donated the use of sharps containers. And the police department also collected an unknown amount of medications. There were 25 pounds of plastic film that were collected that day, an SUV load of EPS styrofoam, which was not intended to be collected, but people were bringing it, so we brought it over to Ridgewood after the event. We also sold 10 composters and 3 rain barrels that day. This represents 7,000 pounds of material that was kept from curb collections, reducing tonnage fees and keeping recyclable materials from the landfills. The compost bins will provide the same benefit on a continuous basis by keeping food from our trash cans. And to date, we've sold 45 compost bins and 12 rain barrels. Lastly, our Green Team email continues to receive inquiries on a regular basis by the residents asking for advice on how to handle different recyclables. I did want to address, I understand that we are going to have to move the rain barrel and compost bin out of the Borough Hall.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just felt like we're trying to upgrade the space a little bit, so when people
Okay.
come in, it's just a little bit cleaner, and what's happening is it's just becoming really cluttered over there, and the
Sure.
people are bringing their bags, so.
I moved the one today to the Bell House barn, just in case
Okay.
you came in and were like, where'd it go? I
And
moved it already.
the collection bin for the plastic film as well? Should that
Yeah,
be
that's
removed?
actually what kind of was the catalyst of it, because there was
It
were
keeps
spilling over.
overflowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we could I don't know if the recycle center is a spot for it, but
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask
I'm
Ron,
not sure.
as well as the council. If we could move both or all 3 of those items over to the
we used to
DPW.
have a textile one and
John, I started talking about it today, and John put something on the website.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, me and John will have let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could put a sign up, to contact the Green Team about purchasing those items. Yeah, and also to, inquire of the Green Team if they have questions about things that they can't bring there. So if people show up with something they're not supposed to, they know they can ask us
Mhm.
how to deal with it.
Definitely.
And the last thing was about the Green Team presentation that I proposed, if we could have a continued discussion about how
Definitely.
that can occur. Okay. I have a question on a separate matter, and speaking about trees that came up during the reports. I had a very large, half of an oak tree fall into my yard, and there's danger from additional trees. This was from a neighbor's yard, but there are trees that are on the ORU right-of-way property, and I wondered how to deal with that if I wanted to approach them about trimming them before they fall on my shed and possibly hit my house.
Email me, Kate, who was our Orange Rockland rep, actually went to Veolia, Mr. Neil Winter, who's head of Orange, one of the head guys at Orange Rockland. He's currently taking my calls directly. Email me, give me a picture. Okay. And we'll figure out what we
Yeah, there's one that's very dangerous. Okay, Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Please state your name and address for the record.
Walter Wigner, 38 Hamilton.
Hi, Walter.
I want to thank you very much for honoring the GIs, the kids who are in the military.
It was a great
I
day.
think that's outstanding, and I really appreciate the fact that you did it.
Thanks, Walter.
Number two, why are they digging up our streets?
By what?
The streets, they're digging them up.
Oh,
I
is
don't
that,
know.
that's
The gas.
PSC&G. They're replacing, the old pipes with the new pipes. It's an initiative that they're doing all over the state. So the pipes are quite old and they're upgrading their infrastructure. It's a good thing.
Good. My
In the
next
long run.
question is in line with that. Can we look forward to them doing a good job and patch job?
Yeah, we already have that all worked out.
Is
Walter, don't
someone
worry.
supervising that?
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
Because as
100%.
I've complained many times in the past, our streets in Allendale are atrocious, in my opinion. They're for the birds. You bounce all over the place as you drive down them. And this should only complicate the whole issue.
No, yeah, so part of their program that they have is also to repave the areas that they dug up. But they don't do that right away because once they dig up the pipes, they have to patch it and that has to settle, something like that, and then they have to
Yeah,
redo
I
it.
know, that's where they
Yeah.
get the condition they're in.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anybody else from the public? Wishing to speak? Okay, sure, actually, that's a great idea. Today's Mayor Emeritus Liz White's birthday, so we're all saying
We
happy
just thought
birthday.
it'd be
to her.
funny to wish her a happy birthday today,
Yes.
right?
She's not here, though.
Happy
She's
birthday,
having a
Liz.
nice dinner right now. With that, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.